Hi, Deborah. This is Lisa from Pet Communication Journey, and I wanted to do this reading for you in a form of a video. I just feel like it's a little bit more personal than having to type it all as a post or even an instant message. So I hope you don't mind doing it this way. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to say that I am so sorry to hear about Toby. I know this was actually the 5th of April, so recent. And I know the pain myself. I lost my own dog a year and a half ago, and I mean, it's still difficult. It never really gets easy. The one thing that keeps me like partially sane about it is that I try to explain this, and the whole reason I started this whole group is because I've had communication with my own dog after he passed away. The biggest thing to remember with Toby is, even though the physical part of him is gone, because we all have this physical outer part, dogs, like people, have a soul, okay? That soul is an energy. The energy, which is a vibrational energy, and our, what I call our awareness, our consciousness, they all still exist after we lose this physical body, which is actually good news. Okay. And I learned this after my dog passed away. And I was devastated when I lost him. I totally understand your pain. And I asked him to, send me signs that he was around. And I wanted him to know that I felt him around me. I believe strongly that he was there with me. And so he started to send me signs through, I had this little, it's kind of like a flower light. It's got like little lights all over it. And when he was alive, first end of his life, he couldn't walk, and so he couldn't sleep at night. So I started to use a light because it seemed like he needed to have a light on because he couldn't walk. I felt like he felt very scared, almost like I want to make sure I was there with him. So you put this light on at night. It gave just enough light. It would plug into the wall. It also was battery operated. Never had any issues with the light. It never would blink while he was alive. After he passed away, very shortly after he passed away, I mean, within days, I would talk to him out loud all the time because I was so used to talking to him. So after he passed away, the light started blinking. And I'm like, okay, this is weird, So I thought, okay, it never blinked before, but now it's blinking. And so I was like, this is Remington. And I'm like, Remington, is that you? And I would ask him questions and it would blink. And so I started thinking, okay, well, I want to make sure he knows that like I'm acknowledging it. So I would bring his toys because I hadn't put away any of his toys yet. So every time it would blink, I would be like, okay, Remington, I know you, and I put a toy right in front of the little light. So like his way of knowing that I know it's him and I'm acknowledging it. And so this went on for like months. And I even checked the batteries inside of it because you can plug it in and you can put batteries in. I made sure the batteries were okay. And then I even took the batteries out and it still worked and it would still blink. Either way, it would blink. And so we got to the point where I would say, okay, let's do yes or no, or your name. So we would do Remy, Remi. I said, make it blink 4 times for your name. And he would make it blink 4 times. Or I'd say, let's do yes or no, with different things like that. And we played this game for months, but there were other signs he showed me. Like one time I felt him, I was sleeping at night and he always slept with me on the bed. One night I was sleeping, I woke up and it was dark and I felt this brush against my arm, the whole side of the bed. I don't know, I just felt that. And I felt like he came up on the bed and laid next to me. And I guess it was his way of saying, look, I'm still here and now I can walk again. I'm free from that physical body. I'm not stuck in this shell I no longer need. And I believe that because I've had relatives die and I've had them show up in my dreams. I've had them and dreams that were like valid, that made sense. When my other dog was passing away, my grandpa was there for me and he was showing me, that he would take care of this dog now. And it was just like amazing. And then my dog had passed away, but I just felt like my grandpa was there with him saying, hey, it's going to be okay. And just a lot of different things have happened in my life where I do believe that we live on for sure after this physical body. We're done with it. So we still have that awareness. And what I mean by awareness is like how you feel when you wake up and you're here. Okay. Even without this physical brain and stuff, we can still know we have an awareness. So Toby knows, like he's there with you and he is definitely there with you. So have comfort. Even though you can't physically touch him, you still can have comfort in knowing he is still there with you. He is always going to be there with you. And you can communicate with him anytime and acknowledge that. Speak out loud to Toby. If you have his toys, put them in certain spots or anything that reminds you of him. Ask him questions. Okay, that's another thing. You can ask him a question, and he probably is going to reveal in whatever way he can an answer to you. You just have to watch. They do it. They can transfer their energy in different ways. Like mine used it through lights. Sometimes they'll send you a symbol like a feather. You'll also see a white feather laying somewhere, not from your pillow. I'm just saying you'll see a white feather nowhere in your house. Or a butterfly is another one, and it just happen to fly by you. They can transform their energy into like insects are really big. Dragonflies. Also, you'll have one on the hood of your car. As a matter of fact, during our reading, one came through, and I'll explain that to you in a second. They do it in subtle ways. Now, the thing with Toby that I noticed, and I think the other girl, Yanazal, who gave you the reading, because he just passed away, we have to give him a little time to kind of hone his skills on learning to show you the signs, okay? Sometimes I'm learning as I go too with the mediumship skills that it does take a little bit of time, and it's only been a couple weeks. It's a very subtle energy that I pick up from Toby right now. And I think that's what happened with Yanazal as well. I don't think she picked up as much as sometimes if a dog's passed away for a couple years and they've been on the other side. Sometimes the energy is a lot stronger. They can communicate with me or through me better. Or you can do the same thing if you learn how to do it. They'll send you images. You might hear them bark. You'll see the symbols more. Some dogs are better than others. Some souls, they might have reincarnated several times and they've been through the process. But I felt for Toby, I got a lot of messages, but they were very, very subtle. And it felt like he was the transition just happened. So we want to give him a little time to adjust to his way of, now he doesn't have the physical body, so he's going to learn how to use his energy, manipulate it in different ways to show you signs that he's there. Okay, so we have to give him a little adjustment period, and that does happen sometimes. There are some dogs that can communicate very well, and there's some dogs that they don't say as much when you're communicating with them. I felt that Toby was a little more subtle in his energy. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to say about that. Just so you didn't take offense to Yanazal's reading. I kind of felt too the same way that his energy was a little more subtle, but I did get some wonderful communication from him. And I know I posted a little bit, and I hope you got to read it. It was a few days ago. I had asked his age, but I also gave you some information where I had already kind of connected with him, and he was telling me very strongly and urgently that he wanted you to know that he is right there with you now because you were wanting to know. And it's like he's like, I'm here. And I feel that if we don't acknowledge that, it kind of discourages them from wanting to try to leave you symbols and signs to let you know you're there. They see you crying and they probably feel a little helpless, especially if you don't acknowledge back. So what I want you to do strongly, if you haven't already, I want you to talk out loud to him. I want you to ask some questions that, if you have any other pets that passed away, just be like, are you with our kitty that passed away? Are you with that kitty now in heaven, or however you word it? Or if you have any relatives, a lot of times our pets tend to spend time then with, say, if you have a parent or a sister or brother that passed away, they tend to be together on the other side. Like when Toby passed, you may have had a family member who was there waiting for Toby. They tend to do that a lot. So they're probably both there. If you have any relatives or anything like that, like say a grandparent, you may have a grandmother or grandfather who's been there all this time with you, watching over you. And now Toby is with that grandparent, and they're probably together now, both watching over you. So, he's desperately saying, Mommy, I know that, you're sad, and I feel that sadness. But I am here. Please acknowledge that. And you don't need to be as sad. Of course, you're going to be sad, but you don't need to be as sad because you have not lost me. You have not lost me. I feel very strongly from spirit that you two are definitely in a soul group together. Most of us who are very close to our pets are. Before we start this life, we kind of have this amnesia because we don't remember that we've probably already reincarnated, whether you believe that or not. Most of us have reincarnated. We're doing this several times. Our pets also reincarnate because they have shorter lives than us. You may have already experienced Toby's soul in a previous pet. Maybe growing up as a child, you were close to a pet. You may have had a dog prior to Toby, and there might have been something very familiar in Toby. When you found him or you adopted him, there was something in their eyes. A lot of times you'll see it in their eyes. It'll be something that you'll say, oh my God, it just reminds me of Ben when I had Ben. And yes, there's a reason for that, because they reincarnate when we want them to come back, or there's more lessons to learn together. And a lot of the biggest lessons we learn more from them than they learn from us, but because we learn unconditional love. They teach us to have unconditional love for others, for other pets, for all animals, for each other. And also they teach us that there's no guilt if you ever have to put a pet down. They don't ever hold grudges. That's a wonderful thing about pets. If you've noticed, they don't hold grudges. Their heart is always pure. It's open. They're never mad at you. I know sometimes we think our pets have punished us when, we didn't bring them, with us somewhere, but they're the most honest and truest and purest beings that I've ever experienced. So I feel that we, as humans are learning that. And we've, at this time in our lives, at this time in 2019, we are so close to our pets that, I think that we're evolving, and that's their lesson too, is we're going further and further and deeper with our pets and our relationships that they're learning almost, they're evolving too into learning how to be, communicating with us in so many ways and different lessons. But I think we're the ones learning mainly from them. So I do believe strongly that you two you're part of the same soul group. If you would like, when you are ready, Toby definitely is telling me right now that he definitely will come back to you whenever the time is right for you. Okay. It doesn't have to be now. He's not going anywhere, because right now he's on the other side of the veil. I call it the veil because it's a veil to us, because he's here with you, but we can't see him because we only have our stupid human filters, and they're very limited. We can see, we can hear, we can feel, we can touch. And yes, I'm using my intuitive senses, which is another level, but yet we're so limited compared to what the soul can do. Once we leave this body, we're open to everything. So you have him now, and you can work with him on the other side. You can communicate. It's almost like I see the infinity sign. It's the never ending circles. That you two are together, it's the never ending circle. So your relationship continues. Okay. You can work with him from the other side now, is what I'm trying to say. And he can be your guide. And you can keep learning, like I'm learning to communicate with my pets, even though they're not physically here. It's an amazing, amazing situation. It is a different way of communicating because, I can't pet my dog. And that's being human, is we just want to touch and we want to pet and love that way. I have to find other ways to, I can visit them in a dream. And yes, we are still us. We're just on a subconscious level. When we're dreaming, we're still us. And you can ask Toby to visit you in a dream before you go to bed. Just say, you want him to visit you tonight in a dream, or whenever he can, whenever he's ready, but have him wake you up right when the dream ends so that you can remember it. Okay. Because that's the most important part. You want to be able to remember that dream, and he will definitely visit you in the dreams. That's, like I say, it's still you living the dream. It's not fake. It's real. And you will know that once you have those dreams and you live that dream with him. So that's one aspect of it. I was going to say something else. Now I got caught up in the dream part. Or you can, when you are ready, you can ask him to reincarnate. Just have that in your heart. Let him know that, yes, I definitely want you to come back in the physical. It's probably already a done deal for you guys anyway, as far as it happening. You probably have already planned this prior to this life starting. That he will come back again, and you will experience everything again. Just like the movie, A Dog's Purpose. If you've ever seen it, it's a very sad movie, but at the same time, it's a very awesome movie. I don't want to give it away in case you haven't seen it. It's very, very good. I highly recommend it when you're ready to see it. You won't be disappointed. It's sad, but it's wonderful. It's a wonderful movie, and it is definitely about reincarnation. So it's beautiful. And I'm getting from Toby to he wouldn't mind he wouldn't mind being a bigger dog next life, although he loved the fact that you were able to hold him and be close to him that way, that he cherished. Because if he's bigger, though, he won't be able to do that. I'm just thinking that, Toby, you won't be able to do that if you get too big. So I'm thinking bigger, meaning maybe a medium-sized dog. He enjoyed being his breed, but he also wouldn't mind being a little bigger, a little more fierce, kind of like, yeah, Although the smallest dogs, to me, are actually the toughest dogs because they think they're huge and they scare the big dogs. I always get the big dogs. I got like the hunting dogs, and actually the little dogs like scare the crap out of the big dogs. But he's kind of indicating to me he doesn't have to be the same breed. Unless it's something you want. So he's going to do whatever, if you find a dog at a rescue someday and it happens to be one that's already like say 4 years old and you're like, well, wait, Toby died in 2018. That couldn't be him. This dog was already born. That's not the case. I used to believe that too, but they actually can jump into their soul can take over another dog's. That can be a deal they can make with another dog. I know it sounds strange, but they can actually come into another dog and make a deal with the dog and like become that dog. It was really strange. Before I got my dog Remington, I was looking through endless pictures of dogs at the Humane Societies and rescues and blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, I saw this German Shorthair Pointer. Never had one. I looked right at that dog, and I'm like, I just looked at him, and I'm like, you're going to be my dog. I'm like, he looked like my dog Ben, who I grew up with. He was a Irish setter. I looked at him like, oh my God, he reminds me of Ben. I don't know, just something in his eyes, And I just knew he was going to be my dog. And actually somebody else adopted him first. And I was devastated, like, no, this is going to be my dog. Well, 2 weeks later, the lady called me and said, well, guess what? Remington was brought back. He chewed up somebody's couch. So this is your chance. I'm like, I knew it. So he ended up being my dog. So, all right. So here's your reading now. So we're going to get to that right now. Let me just flip the screens here. Okay. So what I got was, what I normally do is I meditate first. And last night I communicated with him and I wrote down everything. And some things are coming through right now too. So he told me basically, I'm sorry, the dog's barking. Someone's coming in the house. One moment. I'm going to close the door. Sorry about that. So my significant other just came back from a bike ride, and my dog's like, who is it? So basically, the feeling that I got was Toby was showing me that every night, even though you're not realizing he's there, and he's showing me that he's giving you kisses every night on the bed and cuddling up beside you. So every night he's there, and he's showing you, giving you kisses, like kind of like licking your face as you're crying. Even sometimes he's licking those tears away. And he's there with you. And he's like cuddling up right next to you. He's showing me. I was seeing more of the right side. I don't know why. Maybe it was the left. But I'm seeing the right side. And he says he likes to lay his head like on your tummy and your heart. Because he likes to hear your heartbeat. And it just gives him a soothing feeling of life. And he, just that whole bonding feeling together. He says that he hears your prayers that you are saying about him and to him. And again, like I said, he's looking away your tears whenever you're crying. And he's saying, I am home. I'm here. And home is your heart. And that's why he likes to, when you're laying there in bed and stuff, he likes to lay his head on your heart. Okay. And then, and I'd have to look it up, and I didn't get a chance. There's a song. It came into my head the whole time. I was like, it's called like, You'll Be in My Heart. I wonder if I can look it up really quick. I don't think it's a new song, but it's like, You'll be in my heart. Something like that. I'm not a good singer. Let me see if I can find it. It kept coming in my mind, like as I was doing it, reading at a couple songs. You'll be in my heart. It says Tarzan. I don't know if that would be right. You're going to have to do a little research. It's Phil Collins. I'm going to start crying. Because I'm looking at the lyrics. And anyway. So anyway. It's very sweet. But anyway, it's a song that he gave to me. You can look at the lyrics. Sometimes they give you a song even if it wasn't a favorite, but it's just like to look at the words. And other times there's going to be things in here like you might say, I don't know what she's talking about. But sometimes they are just going to be symbols that we have to kind of look into. Or they could be things that might happen tomorrow. I've had things where the dog has told me ladybug. And then the next morning, the kids were digging in the dirt and they didn't know anything about this, and they found a ladybug. And it was like that dog's way of saying, tomorrow I'm going to send you a sign. Okay, so sometimes the things I'm going to tell you, pin them up. If you're not sure, pin them up, and we'll go through it together, and maybe we can figure out different things, okay? So I got a couple songs. That's one of them. For whatever reason, whatever came through to me was costumes, like being dressed up in costumes. I got a flower, like a flower on the head kind of thing. It does not necessarily mean he was dressed up in costumes. I'm going to look this up for you. But think back through his whole life. It could be a symbol of a costume, and I'm going to look that up and see what that could be, because a lot of times our psychic symbols that they can show you. I did get like Halloween, and wearing something for Christmas, maybe even this past Christmas, as he was showing me this was a very special holiday. I was seeing something like, could have been like a sweater or something put on him, or maybe I got like a Santa's helper, elf, reindeer antlers. Didn't necessarily be this year, but something indicating a celebration of the holidays or something like that, okay? I got that there were pictures from Christmas time. I'm not sure if it was this past Christmas time, but it seemed like that was a very special Christmas. It could have been Christmases in the past, but pictures were taken, maybe of him, you two together. I very strongly got a little girl singing, okay? I'm not sure if it was with Toby. I kept hearing a little girl laughing, a little girl singing. And I had the impression that you don't have children, although I don't know that. But I heard kids, like little kids singing, having fun. He was showing me that. It could be somebody you guys know. It could be family members. It could be your kids. It could be kids at school. I don't know if you was ever brought to school. You're going to think back here. He's showing me happy moments. The kids' voices, singing, girls singing. And maybe possibly a little boy too, but kids, like lots of kids' voices. Did he ever do tricks? I was wondering if he's ever done tricks. I asked him what he liked to do, and I thought I saw him like on his back legs, like begging for a treat or something like that, something similar to that. Again, if it doesn't ring a bell, I can look into symbols. There might be something with tricks that I can look up. Okay. Again, there's something about the dreaming. He definitely wants to visit you in dreams. So, like I said, acknowledge that to him. Dragonflies. I have an image of a dragonfly. It might be I don't know where you live. It might be too early in the season, but I want you to watch for dragonflies. What will happen is they'll get like right in your face, like on your car hood. They'll get like in your face and they'll like hang on your hood of your car or something like that. And they'll be like right in front of you for a while, and they want to get your attention. That's going to be a symbol. He's going to show you. He's going to come to you, and he's going to try to transform that energy into that. You may also see a butterfly. That butterfly, you'll see it. It'll fly right by you, and you'll think of him. It's him. Acknowledge that it's him. I also got a lot of little kid things. I got 101 Dalmatians. I got like Little Mermaid and The Lion King. So I don't know if this is something that you've ever watched with him, or if you had kids that watched it. I got like these kind of movies. And I don't know. I know you guys have been together a long time, but another thing was, and I'm thinking one of these songs maybe is from that movie, that I'll Be in Your Heart. And I did get, and it might be because of The Lion King, I did get that song by Elton John. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? That and the Wide-Eyed Wanderer. And I'm not sure if he's trying to say like he feels like a wide-eyed wanderer right now, kind of exploring the beauty of where he is, and all his gifts of being able to transform his energy, and he can actually send energy vibration to your heart when you're sad. Start to feel that energy. That song came to mind. Also, Stand By Me. He sent me like a lot of songs. And a lot of times it's not like you have to love the song. It could just be the name of the song, or it could be the lyrics in the song. Okay. Stand By Me by, oh gosh, how did I forget his name? Stand By Me, classic song. Let me look it up right away here. Stand By Me. That song. I want to say his name, and it just, I don't know. My mind's not in that mode right now. It's trying to connect with him. Ben E. King, that song. And maybe just him trying to say, like at this time, he's there with you and he is standing there by you. And so I'm going to cry again. But yeah, I feel strongly that and I'm just crying because I'm happy for you. Sometimes emotion comes through and it's strong. I just, I think he's trying to give you that message. So please don't ignore it. Okay. Just believe. Okay. You know what I'm thinking right now? I think that those movies, because they're kids movies, they're fairy tales, but I think the message is, I'm going to cry. I don't know what's going on here, that he wants you to believe in the magic of life, because there's so many times when they tell us not to believe in any of this, and he's trying to say that he wants you to believe because he is there. Just allow yourself to feel the love, and know that the magic does exist. Okay, I think that's what he's saying very strongly. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cry. Sometimes that's why empaths they pick up emotions. They might be picking up yours. Sorry about that. But he is happy where he's at. He's okay. I just want you to know that. And I'm so sorry I'm crying, Jesus, Lord. But I just feel the strong connection between you guys. And he's okay. He's okay. All right. I just want to stop. Sorry about that. Oh, Jesus. All right. One last thing I wanted to do was I was going to draw an oracle card really quick. Not that you would need it. I think he's given us some beautiful messages here, but I just thought it'd be a nice thing to do. They're called Talking to Heaven. They're mainly made for human communication, but we can also use them for pets as well. So I thought I'd just draw a card. They're nice to have too as part of the reading. So I just want to get one more message to see what Toby would like to say to you in this moment. All right, let me do a good job. Okay, you can let him in. It's fine. You want to be part of the reading, Jack? Jack wants to be part of the reading. And Jack is my reincarnated Remington, aren't you? Yes, he is. You want to pick a card? What does Toby have to say? You want to pick one? You want to pick a card? No? You want me to do it? All right. Okay, let me just do it really quick. All right. Like for one out, and then I know. Otherwise, then I have to pick it myself here. But they did not need to have a breakdown. All right, let's just see. I am drawn to this card. This is a nice card, I think. It's kind of just why I had the breakdown. This one says, there is no such thing as death. And you might be seeing it backwards. It says, there is no such thing as death. And that's exactly what I was just saying. There really is no such thing as death because we don't really die. We die from this physical body, which do we really want it anymore? Especially after it gets old and icky and we can't see and we can't hear and it falls apart. Because you know what? I don't want to be trapped in it. Just think if we can go back to our soul where we can possibly be young again or whatever, reincarnated or whatever, or just be soul energy that's beautiful and light and perfect, but still have our consciousness where we can still have our memories and, see everybody we love. What would be more perfect than that? So this one refers to, it says, I am as much as alive as you are, because our souls are a life force energy that can never be extinguished. Only my body has been released. And that was a dense form of energy that was affected by other dense earthly energies. My soul and yours are beautifully fine, high vibrational energies which live for eternity. Do you remember I showed you the infinity symbol? It's eternity. I am conscious and fully aware of who I am and where I am. You might even say that I'm more aware now that I'm free of the distractions of the physical world. Please know that I'm happy and healthy in the spiritual sense, and in many ways, I'm even more available to you now than I was on earth because I'm more alive than ever. I think it's a beautiful message. So believe in that. And I want you to let me know, I want some feedback from you if you don't mind. Let me know how this resonated with you. And let me know how it goes with asking him some questions and seeing the signs. Just be completely aware and open to them and have love in your heart for those messages to come to you. And just know he's there with you right now. Just know that. And have, even though you're sad, just have that glimmer of hope and just know he's there. He's there just because we can't see him. We can't see Wi-Fi. We can't see electricity. We can't see radio waves, but they're sure as heck there. And the soul energy is the same thing. It's there. Connect with him. So that's what I have for you. So if you have any more questions or you ever want another reading, let me know. Actually, my regular readings are $40 for, I say 15 minutes, but I pretty much do about 45 to an hour long. So if you ever want more or you want further communication down the road, just let me know. Sorry about the tears. They're tears kind of just happiness, but just also, feeling, I think, your emotion and everything's going to be okay because he'll come back to you if you definitely want. So, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to do this reading, and I will talk to you soon.